You know what it is, right? And look, we get into the comments, and I've get guys and girls, whoever's watching, get your questions in. We're going to try to get through as many talking points. You know the talking points. We're not going to bring them up. Whatever you want to bring up, we'll try to get through them as much as we can, and just have a general lovely chat about the Reds and what happens now and what we're looking forward to. Look at Abdu. He says, I don't miss Liverpool playing at all. In fact, I hope something happens to cancel this season. I mean, Abdu, please feel free to make comment back. But what do you mean by that? Explain yourself. Like, why are you so down? Why are you so sad about Liverpool that you're actually hoping that this season is cancelled? Like, what's driven you to this level, my friend? Like, that is outrageous, right?
And tell us as well. Let us know, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, football's there to be enjoyed. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be 90 minutes, you know, away from the hustle and bustle of life. You know what I mean? We put our faith in 11, or a squad of 18 players to go out there and get a victory. And, you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. This is life, you know what I mean? Like, we live such a privileged life when it comes to football. Like, you know, imagine supporting a team, I don't know, like a Coventry, for example, right? Tasted so close yet so far in terms of promotion, gets to a cup semi-final, lose on pens to Man United, win some, lose some, you know, have to accept the good with the bad, hustling in the championship 3 nights a week. That is pain. That's real hardship. I think sometimes us Liverpool fans, we just got to sprinkle that pinch of, you know, we are one of the biggest football clubs in the world. And yet, I know we're fighting a juggernaut this season in the way Arsenal are playing. But to say, I hope the season gets cancelled or this, that, and the other, it's kind of like, why? I mean, the season only just got started. And actually, where we are in a position right now, you know, there's 92 clubs in the Football League. There's 92 clubs. 90 of them would love to be in our position right now.
I believe there's 4 Liverpool players representing us tonight, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isak captains Sweden.
Oh, wow.
Conor Bradley captains Ireland. And Wirtz and Ekitike both start for their international countries. So we start off with Isak starting for Sweden and captaining Sweden. He needs a goal, or he needs 90 minutes. Are you hoping he plays 90 minutes? Where are you at with this fitness wise? What do you think?
Yeah.
He's got to build up slowly, obviously now.
Build up slowly. The thing is, the whole Johan Wissa thing really, like, it makes you think, innit? Because literally, Newcastle signed.
Oh, you mean in terms of rushed him or something?
Yeah, they rushed him, and now he's out. Now he's not even see him until Christmas. So I hope Isak gets 60.
He didn't play, did he? Did Wissa play for Brentford? Newcastle.
He hasn't played for them yet. They literally signed him on deadline.
When did he get injured?
He went on international duty. He went to play he plays in Africa for one of the African countries. Can't remember which one.
Congo? I think Congolese.
And they played him. And he got injured in that game. And he hasn't been seen since. So this is the thing with the Isak thing. And this is another thing, again, going back to what we were speaking about at the start, earlier on. You can't, like, certain things are not worth the rage bait. Like, people are getting really angry and upset. Slot should play Isak and, Isak doesn't look fit. Isak's going through pre-season right now. We need him on the other side, like, going into the Christmas period, more than we do to get him injured straight away, particularly given his injury history. He's not got a great injury history at all.
Record, yeah.
So it's pretty poor. So, yeah, I hope he gets 65 minutes. Get 60, 65 minutes. Does he need a goal, Grizz? I think he just needs to...
Some rhythm. He just needs to... I think he just needs to play. Look, he scored a goal against Southampton. I think I've seen encouraging bits from him. You can tell he's a baller, guys. Like, when we saw Nunes play, I'm sorry, Nunes fans, I could see he's not a baller. Like, Nunes, you can see he's not a baller. He may have the physical attributes that other strikers crave, like pace, power, height. agility, but he didn't have a footballing brain. You can see Isak's brain's working all the time, and he's got that touch and flair. I think it's a matter of time, and I think Sweden. I'm not sure, guys. Does Sweden play twice? Because that will do him good. I think out of the two games, if they do play twice, I think he has to play one of them in 90 minutes. I don't know what you guys think in the chat. But look, Bob's in the building. He says, yeah, Isak is 6 weeks in full team training and playing every week. He's not 6 weeks in full training.
No, I don't think so. He's not been in full training for 6 weeks.
No.
No. Yeah, he arrived on deadline day, right?
Yep. Amrish says, big up, guys. I missed these lives in the Grizz Khan channel. Look, Liverpool won 5 games very unconvincingly. Everyone knew it was not sustainable. We should be happy to be only 1 point away. Cheer up. And he does play twice. He says, yeah, the 13th, Kosovo at home. So,
but just on that that chat that you brought up with the sustainability question, sustainable for who? Because everybody always talks about it's for us. The problem's us. Yet every single Premier League game has been decided in the 80+ minute one way for Liverpool. So
fine margins.
I mean, are we saying that Chelsea are also unsustainable? Palace maybe are also unsustainable? Like that level of unsustainability, or is it just a case of luck? Is it a case of momentum? What is it, Grizz? Because why is it that when we have beaten the teams, it's called unsustainable, very lucky, Liverpool shouldn't have won the football match. But then when it's been Palace and Chelsea getting a goal literally on the last kick of the game to win it, it was brave. It was, it was brilliant.
Not only that, right? Where I find the slight hypocrisy, and I laugh a little bit. So are we saying that because we lost 2 games, and I don't care what people say, I'm not bothered or concerned about the Galatasaray Champions League game. It's not even in my thought patterns as a 3rd defeat. Now, I know technically we lost 3 games in a row, but for the sake of my sanity or the way I look at the season, it's all about the league for me. Again, back-to-back titles I want, yeah? So look, if we analyze the 2 games that we lost, how comes that winning like that wasn't sustainable, yet losing to the 2 last kicks of the game is said to be normal and sustainable? That's how the season is going to pan out. Do you get it? Like, are we going to lose every game in this final kick of the game? Look at the fine margins between unbeaten in 8, would it be 7 in the league? Sorry, 5 wins and 2 draws, to 5 wins and 2 losses. The doom and gloom Richter scale is off the charts. Like, we were literally 10 seconds away, 1 kick away each of being unbeaten in 7 on top of the table.
Yeah, exactly that. And on that, what out of all those results, what our question came in from someone earlier. What's been the result that has surprised you?
Surprised me. Out of all our league games this season, surprised me in a good way or a bad way?
Let's go good way first. What surprised you result wise?
I think the Newcastle away. I didn't think we were going to win there. With the toxicity and the atmosphere. Do you remember around the Isak thing and the way it was hyped up? I thought a point would have been great there. I think that was a surprise, if you want to call it. I don't know about you.
For me, it was Arsenal.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It was the Arsenal game for me. I mean, I was so surprised that, like, we dealt with the early pressure in the first half pretty well.
I think we dealt with it pretty well.
And it was framed as like Arsenal held the brakes a little bit, but in those big games, teams don't just hold the brakes. You know what I mean? There's a marked respect between 2 teams. You know, shape comes into it, being able to keep Arsenal at bay. Obviously, the wonder goal happened, but we kept it. This is the thing. Like, Arsenal had about 15 minutes after that goal to score, and I felt we were pretty content dealing with them. And that for me was the biggest, and that is the biggest indication. That game is the biggest indication for me why I don't feel like like we're a million miles off being as close to the title race, because Arsenal have proven to be what they conceded 2 goals all season. They've lost 1 football match in all competitions. Like, they are proving to be a stellar force as they continue to go on. So to have beaten them and to have done it with a clean sheet as well was super surprising, especially as we hadn't beaten Arsenal at Anfield in a while. I think it was like 4 draws in a row, is it, against Arsenal? I don't think Arteta's ever won there, but in terms of us beating them, we hadn't beaten them since the FA Cup. So that was
Bob says we are not convincing and play a little bit chaotic. We discussed this on the Red Room yesterday in terms of our playing style and sort of the change. We all thought Slot, being the Dutch coach, he's going to bring a sense of control, possession. Do you think this is the way he's going in terms of how we're going to play, or do you think no, this is not the end plan? This is not the end game. We're going to have a much more structured and controlled style of play. It's just teething problems. It's just we haven't played with each other. It's just the 11 don't know each other almost on the pitch. Like 4 or 5 new players in the first team. It's transitioning, right? What do you put it down to? The chaotic nature?
Yeah, look, I've never known, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but rarely, if ever, does a club gain like total control or control when they've made so many changes to their team. I would argue that, hopefully I get this right, and the chat will probably hold me up to this, but when Mourinho first came to Chelsea, right, and he took over and he made all those signings, I believe they won the league that season. Was it the first season? But it was the second season, I believe, that they only conceded 16 goals and won the title, right? So it was the second season when those new players had time to gel and get together that they had almost that kind of like era of control.
Season.
Yeah. And I
16
believe
goals is ridiculous. That's never going to be beaten.
That's not, well, you say that, flipping Arteta ball at the moment is one goal conceded, and no one looks comfortable enough to even score against them. I'm worried a little bit about that, but that's for another day. I don't believe you get control straight away, and I'm banging my head against the wall every time I listen to people talk about Liverpool and this transfer window this summer. The narrative has always been that Liverpool has spent £500 million as if to stockpile players, and every time we're like, well, it's a transition season, everyone's like, how can it be a transition season? You still got Virgil, you still got Konate, you still got Alisson, you still got your midfield, etc. But it is a transition season because we've changed so many key components within the way we play football. We're just not going to control games. So if Liverpool gets to your emotions a little bit and games are tough to watch, then you're definitely going to have to make sure that you're watching the game with what's the one where they keep your heart rate monitor on, very much on this stuff, because there's not going to be no control. It's going to continue to be chaos. And to your
until
they learn how to play together, until they kind of like it kind of, it's the simple things, isn't it? It's kind of like, okay, Kirkes has the ball, right? Kirkes has never played with McAllister before, right? In previous situations, if McAllister, I don't know, makes a run here, and Kirkes knows that McAllister makes these runs week in, week out, Kirkes is going to be more comfortable to play the ball to him, a riskier pass to McAllister because he knows he's made that run. But as it currently stands, because they haven't played together before, or they're not got that telepathy, Kirkes might hold the ball for a little bit longer. So Kirkes holds the ball for a little bit longer. It might look like then he has to turn around.
And these small things make the most difference. They might seem small, but if you add 4 or 5 of those scenarios all around the pitch, like there's new relationships being formed pretty much literally every game.
Yeah.
Like every game, there's triangles of, patterns and play that are being formed and developed as they go along. Like if people can't understand that and can't get to grips with that, then I don't know, Keith.
Yeah,
it's so obvious.
Yeah, but then I think then you're just being angry for the sake of being angry, or maybe you believe, you may have this unwavering belief, because some people do, that they're paid enough money to figure they should be figuring that out quicker than the average human. But these are just human beings at the end of the day. We don't want to watch robots. You know, I know that there's a deep feeling that everybody should be a robot and, you know, play. It should be like Football Manager. You know, and this is how people would genuinely see it. Like if I switched on Football Manager right now with those players in that, when I pick Liverpool, when I get the game in next month, yeah, of course they're going to be smashing teams, right? Because it's Football Manager, it's a robot. Like the game will get to grips with things far quicker. But that's not how real life works. So we have to be patient. Now, the one thing I've got a question for you though, Grizz, do you like the way that Arne Slot plays football or is wanting us to play football? Because there's a few things that I see, right? For example, he really loves to draw oppositions out of their press, a bit like De Zerbi used to do, right? You see Konate and Van Dijk sit on the ball a little bit more, likes to draw people out. Less, you notice sometimes when I've seen Liverpool where there's opportunity to break, maybe under Jurgen Klopp, that would be a direct ball and we'd be going hell for leather. But I've noticed that we don't always go for that long pass. We kind of hold the ball. We want to keep possession a little bit more. There is a change. I've noticed it. Do you like it?
I'm very boring. I like winning football. I've lived and supported Liverpool through so many different styles and cultures of who have played differently. Yeah, I swear to you, some of the most boringest games were under Rafa Benitez and Gerard Houllier. That period.
4-5-1.
Bro, I don't know what Twitter would have done. Keith, I don't know what Twitter would have done, man. I don't know what it would have been civil war. Like watching Gerard Houllier play, you know, the formations that he played with Owen up front on his own and Heskey on the left, wide right, and then I don't know, sometimes Heskey wide left, and Danny Murphy wide right with three, Haman, Gerrard, and I don't know, Biscan in midfield, or, you know, whatever. Like some of the formations he played, or of course with the French lads as well, Salif Diao in there. We played some horrible football. Even Rafa, that season where we nearly won the league, we should have won the league. And if it wasn't for like 1,000 draws, I know you hate draws and you always talk about draws is going to kill us. So, but we won stuff. Like the treble or whatever type of treble of trophies that we won under Gerard Houllier is memorable. We're never going to forget that. The way we beat Arsenal, proper. What's the word? You know, like what's the word? Like, smash and grab.
Yeah, that was a smash and grab game.
They bullied us all game. They outplayed us all game, but we done a smash and grab. Who cares about that game anymore? No one cares. Yeah. No one cares. All people remember is we won. Michael Owen, last minute, bad boy, we won. We beat Arsenal. Like Ashby says, Risa and Finnan as wingers he was playing.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't care. I'm not too bothered about how he plays football or how at the moment. I just need to keep winning. I need to win us a title by hook or by crook. Now, what that saying means, if people haven't heard that saying, is however, by any means necessary. You're more of a stylist and a purist than me. So I think that's where your question is coming from, because you want to see the beautiful game at the same time. But then you're not making sense. But then you want to preach patience from the other side.
I could be patient. I can be patient. I think the thing is it under Jurgen Klopp, it can be argued that it was
he changed our mindset, didn't he?
Yeah, he changed the minds. That's it. Jurgen Klopp changed my mind, or the way that I I think I enjoy as a viewer, as a fan, to watch football. You know, it was super direct, right? It was kind of like
front to back very quickly. Yeah. Did you see the highlights of that goals we've scored in the recent? And that goal we scored at, was it Wigan or Brighton, where Bobby Firmino and then Salah's running on the wing, and it's just 3-4 touches.
Yeah, bang, boom. Goal. Yeah, sensational. You know, very kind of like I mean, last season was a blast. But I think sometimes we get into certain situations this season. I don't know if other people have noticed it, where I'm like, why did we just hold the ball there? Like we've just won the ball, and like literally the players are ready to go, and we've kind
But
of.
do you
like,
think that's the coach? Do you think these are the coach's instructions, or do you think it's like what you said earlier? Players don't know each other's next moves yet.
I think a little bit of both. I think it's kind of like players don't feel comfortable enough, like I said earlier, right, to play that pass because they don't know the runs that they're necessarily going to make. But I do think there's an element of
that's why we delay. That's why we're delaying it.
yeah, that's what we're
sure?
delaying. But I think there's a certain level of we don't want to create too many transitions because, and maybe Slot's seen this for a reason, transitions in the Premier League are the most dangerous forms of play because if it goes right for you, great, but in the transition you can lose the ball and that transition can turn on you and turn into a goal because that's the Premier League is the best in the world at it. So I feel like he prioritizes holding possession rather than making
the Dutch way.
The Dutch way.
Keith. Ash says no playmaker in the world can be as good as a good counter-pressing situation. Klopp.
Well, this is good.
Scott alluded to it.
Well, this is good, and that's a question for you then. Have you noticed a decline in our counter press this season?
But naturally, though, yes, but naturally, it was always going to happen. Lucho, the late Jota, Sadio Mane, recent times, Darwin Núñez, all worked their socks off and were great pressers. And obviously before that, Bobby Firmino. So when you've just suddenly lost all those and you've replaced them with a not fit Isak, and I don't think he looks like a presser as such. I think we're going to have to force him to press and teach him how to press. Ekitike looks like a willing presser at the moment without much thought. And Gakpo, does he come across to you as an intense presser? No. So that's the situation. That's the problem we find. Look what we've replaced with what we've replaced. It will come because if Slot demands it, they will have to press from the front. But that's why. And then Salah, let's not even go there, right? So it's resulted in teams being able to play through us way, way too easily than it has been in the past.
And that's what I think is the biggest stick we're getting beaten with at the moment. In fact, I'd argue people talk a lot about Liverpool defensively, and Slot has alluded to it. But I would say, arguably, it's the breakdown of the counter press that's actually making us look like we're easier to play against. And because they're not pressing in bunches. They're not cohesive in the press. I don't necessarily know which one thinks they're the trigger. Wirtz seems to be doing the thing that I remember when there was that terrible season where Thiago was running around like a madman as kind of like remember we discussed this. It's like, why is Thiago
We used him so wrong, yeah.
But now Wirtz seems to be the same guy where he's just running around trying to press anybody that he can get his hands on, but he's doing it by himself, so he gets passed around a lot. I would say, Grizz, my opinion, this is the key. This is the key. And Slot believes, like that quote that the guy said about what Jurgen Klopp, that's the philosophy that I think they share, is they both share that philosophy that they want to win the ball from higher up the pitch.
So what's the differences then, do you think then?
I think when they win the ball in that situation, my personal opinion is Slot's belief is that if you win the ball in the counter press,
you create the highest XG.
Yes.
I think where Slot, it's like more, let's see how it goes. Take risks.
Yeah. Take risks, but also, if not, prioritize keeping the ball. Let's go back again. Let's hold the ball. Let's move it. Let's move it around. Whereas Klopp, it was literally like counter press, win that ball within 2 touches. The ball needs to be in the back of the net. He used it as a playmaking mechanism. I think Slot uses it as a defensive tactic to keep the opposition away from getting into transitions against our fullbacks in particular. Personal opinion, love to get people's opinion on that.
Ben, our very own Ben, says, right then, boys, best goal under Slot. Oh, top of my head. Need to think about this one. Best goal under slot. Oh, no. Yeah. The other day, man. It was this season where everyone said there's the glimpse of slot ball. Oh, people are going to talk about it was 10 men, but and Gamora's goal, the winning goal against.
Oh, yeah. That is a perfect example of what I mean, by the way, in terms of that they knocked it around. Like again,
everyone touched the ball except Szoboszlai, who probably played the most pivotal role in the actual goal by doing that dummy. That's a fact for you.
Yeah.
Everyone touched the ball except Szoboszlai. But it was Szoboszlai's dummy that was the X factor in the whole move.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I'd actually, perfectly agree with you on that. I think this season, in terms of a flowing move, I'd say it was that goal. All-time favorite goal under slot, honestly, the one that got me like I celebrated like mad. I think my neighbors ended up like being bare pissed with me. Was Harvey Elliott's goal against PSG? Genuinely one of my favorite goals ever. You were speaking about the Arsenal game, smash and grab. That PSG game was 10 times worse because there is no way in any universe that Liverpool Football Club should have won that game. That should have won that game. And not only did we do it, but we did it in such a direct hoofball version, knocked down by Nunes into Elliott. Elliott bends it around Donnarumma. That was my favorite slot goal by a mile, easily. I couldn't believe that day. I was celebrating for ages afterwards.
Ben says, one thing I forgot to mention on the show yesterday, Grizz, one thing Slot has gone away against himself this season is the risky passes he said we did wrong under Klopp. So, yeah, like less risk.
But that's because we don't have Trent.
But Trent was the risk taker, no?
He was the risk taker. In fact, he was the risk taker for good or for bad. Because there were certain games where he wasn't on it, the Manchester United game, and he'd make those risky passes and we'd lose the ball straight away. But most of the times, Trent was the risk. He was the one ping over the top.
Do we miss him, Keith? I'm going to ask you a very honest, straightforward question. Where do we miss him? I refuse to accept any Liverpool fan who's just going to be stubborn and say, nah, we don't miss him at all.
Yeah, we miss him.
Which aspect? Which aspect? No, allow that. Don't go too far. It's not his home. If it was home, he wouldn't have left in the first place, brother. I'm sorry. I'm not having that.
You're right about that. Yeah, for me, it's
where do we miss him?
He was one of the best playmakers in Europe. As a playmaker, we miss him badly because his ability he doesn't need time to connect. He sees things that other people just never see. He's one of a rare breed of footballer where it doesn't matter whether you've been playing for Liverpool for 5 minutes or 5 years. He is going to see what you're going to do, and he is going to put that ball where you need it to be put. And I think we desperately miss having sometimes just that. Because it was just out of nowhere. So it was just like teams would almost set in like try to or get into a shape before they could even get to that shape. Trent has already played the ball.
Not only that, teams would press us right in the corner of the pitch, bring the high line, think that we've got them right in the corner. You give the ball to Trent, and he would ping a pass from where currently any fullback is looking to just get touch, or go up the pitch, just lump it up the pitch. Well, he automatically, even if it's a clearance, it's a pass type clearance in the general direction. And he's got the ability to turn a clearance stroke pass into a through ball. Like there's no one, I'm talking Kevin De Bruyne, David Beckham, Steven Gerrard. He's in those 3 categories that I've seen in my lifetime. And that is some category to be put into.
And I think the other thing was as well, probably the one thing we miss is the connection with Salah. Really, that link up with Salah, because he was the one that gave Salah the ball or played him on or knew how to play with him on that side. And, You know, when people say has it probably impacted Salah, I think massively. Just like the way that, you know, our front three probably is not going to work the same as it did when it was Mane and Salah and Firmino. I think the same thing's got to be for Trent. And I think, unfortunately, the only player that could have replaced him, in my opinion, would have been someone like a Reece James, because Reece James plays the right back role in that way, in my opinion.
Porro Spurs.
Pedro Porro as well in that respect. But other than that, for me, this is the biggest change that Liverpool have had to go through, because, you know, we were used to it for 8 years. He was a playmaker from right back. Yeah, people and everyone always focused on his defensive and his defending to the point where everybody would forget what he gave to us offensively and in a playmaking environment. And now I think that, you know, you can't expect Conor Bradley and Frimpong to do that same thing.
It's a whole different way of playing. We're trying to recreate our chance creation ability by different means, by a whole different way of playing. I love, you know me, I love calling out people that love calling out, full stop. Do you know what I mean by that? So, you know, people there in the chat that just in their own world, having conversations with themselves, right? I love calling out people. Now, there's a name by the name of Goal Ratio. Earlier on, he was like, stop making excuses. We've been shit for years. He's talking about the Premier League champions, the Champions League winners in recent times, the Premier League champions, twice Premier League champions, won every trophy. We've been shit for years. Salah FC is the main issue. I'm concerned that this guy might not be a Liverpool fan because he carries on. I don't miss Trent at all. That's fine. Yeah. Hoof at all. Overhyped. Yeah. And then he says, pass type clearance, lol, hype. Trent was lazy and couldn't mix it up, so he hoofed it. Yeah. So, you know, my friend, first and foremost, I hope you're not a Liverpool fan, actually. I would hate to be associated with a fan like you, a supporter like you, honestly, mate. But I do miss Trent's passing ability and breaking of the lines. I don't miss the character. I don't miss what he became in terms of, I don't care about all that aspect. But his ability to create chances and break passing lines and get the ball into the likes of a Wirtz is craving for now is huge. Is huge. It's almost like Virgil has taken more of the mantle, to do that even more now. We know Ibu has to work on that. Will he ever be that kind of centre-back? No. Conor Bradley's not that kind of centre-back. And Frimpong's been underwhelming since his injury. I think Kirkes has the ability, but it will come with time and the more he plays. A lot of criticism about Kirkes is he's not very the opposite of Thiago. Do you remember we used to talk about Thiago scanning?
Yes, yeah.
Do you buy into that criticism as well? Do you add to that criticism about Kirkes that he's very passes the way he sees? That's it.
Yeah. With Milos Kerkez, right? I didn't realize this because of the way people talk about him. I thought he was like 25, 26, established left back, has pretty long career. I didn't realize that he's 21 years old.
He's a kid.
He's a kid. He is a kid. I think the biggest mistake Slot made at the time was throwing him in at the deep end. I think it should have been a gradual change from Andy Roberts to Milos Kerkez, first of all. Do I think in terms of his passing ability? I just think at the moment he looks like a player who feels the weight of the shirt on his shoulders massively. He's probably the one of all of them where I feel like, yeah, he feels the weight. He feels that this is his big shot. This is his big chance, big moment to impress. I think he's thinking about things way too hard. And I think it's hindering his ability to make choices off the cuff and be a little bit more like the Kerkes at Bournemouth. Kerkes at Bournemouth, I feel like, you know, he played with no fear. He played with no anxiety. And he felt like he was one of the main guys in that team. And so his passing, his crossing, his running at players.
Almost with authority, yeah.
Yeah, with authority. At this moment in time, I just think that he's playing
He
within
feels he's like trying to work his way into it, build his reputation, build his standing in the team. I hear what you mean.
He doesn't want to be the guy that makes the mistake, right? He doesn't want to be the guy that plays the pass that gets intercepted and then we get broken on and then, we go 1-0 down. So, yeah, at this moment in time, what I see is not the Kirkers that I think is going to become. I've seen some people have kind of mentioned that they remind him of Alberto Moreno. Yeah, I think that's more of visually in terms of like similar size, similar.
I think he's stronger than Moreno.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he's much better one-on-one than Moreno.
He's not chaotic.
Yeah, I know. I see the slight traits, but no, I think he's better than Moreno. I wasn't his biggest fan at the start, and I said it because I wanted Nuri. I hate Nuri of Wolves.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
But I am a little bit surprised at the criticism of Kirkers. I don't think he's been as bad as some are making out. Ash says Slot might have to change his fullbacks like Klopp used to in the early years, flying up and down, bin the inverted stuff. This is something that I think is crucial in the next couple of months now, how we change this style, Keith. I think if we're going to invert Salah and Gakpo, or Salah's not going to be a winger that goes on the outside completely, then I think our width has to come from Bradley, Frimpong, or Kirkers, or Robbo. Has to. At the moment, he's not using the fullbacks like they have been accustomed to playing for most of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get it?
Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, going up and down, Frimpong being almost given license to be left wing.
Why is that, do you think? Why is he not allowing the fullbacks to bomb on, and then if he needs to invert the rest for cover, do so? I don't know. I am slightly confused in terms of what is our style and identity at the moment before people go mad. At the moment, I am struggling to see the identity in the way we want to play.
I think some of it has to do with the fact that teams deliberately target each other's wide areas. And if you look at a lot of goals that are scored in the league this season, a lot of it comes from wide areas, right? So it's kind of like that risk versus reward factor. And I would argue that Slot doesn't yet trust the shape of the team to allow the wing backs to go bombing up and down forwards.
But he needs to. I think that's a criticism of Slot then in my eyes. My eyes, he needs to.
He needs to let the shackles off.
Is it shackles, or he needs to be secure in his choices? He needs to be confident of his ability that this is the formation and structure that's going to work for Liverpool. And I agree with you. At the moment, he doesn't. But that's because of the new players as well. I want to give him time and I want to give him space.
Do you think he's playing pre-season, that he's treating this first couple of months as pre-season X? Because it surprises me that Slot really, this could be a criticism. Slot really doesn't know his best 11 at the moment.
He doesn't know his best 11 at the moment. What is our best 11?
Oh, can't hear you.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you. We can see you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can't hear anything. I don't know what happened to my sound.
Well, we're gonna call it a night anyway. We've managed an hour to chat about a nice, relaxed chat about Liverpool, and it's been fun. It's been fun. Are you back?
I'm back. Yeah. Sorry.
But I was just gonna say thank you for Keith for stepping in to massive shoes of Gags Tandon. Hope you've enjoyed your debut on the Chat G&G. Something different, nothing too strenuous, nothing too stressful. Nice little chat about Liverpool and the situation, the circumstances around Liverpool Football Club. Thank you very much, Keith. Yeah,
absolute pleasure. Honestly, I feel like we can talk in a lot more depth and go into
we an hour's past, it's flown by.
Yeah. And look, you know, as I said to everybody that has got through to the end, you know, football's a beautiful game, man. You know, it can be great, it can be terrible. Best thing I can advise when Liverpool lose a game, just turn your phone off. Switch it on the next day. You don't need to turn your phone. Turn to your wife, girlfriend, significant other, your pet, your cat, tortoise, fish.
I stay off X now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually stay off X. I don't enjoy it anymore.
It's provocative, isn't it? Every tweet, it just wants you to get angry. And I know it's not just X, you got your WhatsApp groups as well. I know when Liverpool lose, I just see the @ and you know they're @ing you at the time. Just turn your phone off. Enjoy.
Turn your phones off, man. Enjoy. Listen, people. Thank you very much for another episode of Chat G&G. We will be back next week. I don't think Gags is back next week, so I'll have to speak to Keith in the week if he's available next Friday as well. Hopefully, we'll have a much more positive outlook by then, and hopefully all the internationals return without any injuries, and we will look forward to the Man United game. The weeks that precede us now, games come thick and fast. Don't go anywhere, people. Thank you. Peace, love, and tranquility to you. Take care. Bye-bye.